Recording in progress.
First judge.
Hey, good morning, everyone. So I'll be working remotely, so I have information from the agenda, but if I missed something, please point it out. Let's call the meeting to order and proof of posting, please. Today is Tuesday, October the 15th, 9 a.m. Proof of posting, please.
The agenda was posted on Thursday, October 10th, 2024 at 4:15 p.m.
All right, thank you. Let's pause briefly for a moment of silence, and then we'll have the pledge to the flag led by Steve Hernandez.
Let's see if it's him.
There he is.
Oh. Just in time.
All right, Steve.
Yes, please join with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I Texas pledge.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, Steve. All right. If there's any members of the public that's in the audience today that want to speak to the court on business matters, please do so at this time. All right. I don't see anyone. Going to the next item on the proclamations and resolutions, I don't think we have anything this week. And going to the consent agenda items, the recommended pulls are item E4, E4E, it's add for the ARPA bids, and then E8A, which is the final plat for the West Bell Road addition. Is there any other pulls recommended by the audience? If not, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda with the exception of those two pulls?
So move.
Second.
All right, there's a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passed. All right, under E4E, there is a, get to it here. All right, Ken?
Yes,
Or
yes, sir. We are at a time in the year that we are down. If we had another project come up to get it into a bid cycle, we would need to get it going as quickly as possible. So I'm asking for kind of a blanket approval if we have another ARPA project that comes up that I'm seeking approval for that advertisement. We'll put it in the papers, but we will come back to the court for ratification for that advertisement afterwards. But we're coming down to the cycle is getting us well into December. And you know, our deadline is December 31. So again, I'm just looking for kind of being proactive, looking for approval ahead of time.
All right, I appreciate that. All right, any questions or comments for Ken? If not, is there a motion to approve Ken's proposal?
So move.
Second.
Have motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. All right, under E8A, the final plat for West Bell Road addition. Now, is that one that asked to defer?
Zane
It needs to be pulled with no action.
All right, let's pull with no action. Okay, so Dustin, we had a few that we were going to move in front of the agenda, so if you'll start on those.
Yes, sir. If we can go to item M6, this is regarding the local provider participation fund. And Judge, we'll start with that public hearing if that's okay. M6A is a public hearing regarding consideration of mandatory payments to be assessed on all non-public hospitals located within the county to fund the McLennan County Local Provider Participation Program during fiscal year 2025 pursuant to Chapter 294 of the Texas Health and Safety Code. Heather or
All right.
Justin, is there anything y'all would like to discuss before Judge opens the hearing?
I think there's anything to discuss. I have a brief reminder of just what the LPPF is, just for recording purposes and for the court. Beginning in 2013, local governments received approval from the Texas legislature to operate a local provider participation fund, which is our LPPF. McLennan County, the jurisdiction for the MRSA Central, the service delivery area, was enacted in 2015 per House Bill 2809, Section 84R, Chapter 294 of the Health and Safety Code. LPPFs are accounts that local units of governments deposit mandatory payments from hospitals to use as an intergovernment transfer, IGT, to HHSC. Mandatory payments are financial assessments non-public hospitals pay based on their annual net patient revenue, and hospitals pay into the fund so the local jurisdiction can use this money as a non-federal portion of the Medicaid match. And Dustin, do you have that funds flow?
Heather, I do not.
Okay, that's fine. To date, multiple LPPFs are in operation across the state, and currently LPPFs provide funding for several supplemental and directed payment programs. Today, we gather per Section 294.1.101 of the Health and Safety Code to discuss, consider, and take action on setting a mandatory payment rate not to exceed 6% for the upcoming fiscal year of 2025. So we also have Justin here with AHCV to answer any questions that you may have as well.
All right, any questions?
What's been the rate in the past?
Historically, first of all, I'm sorry, Commissioners, Judge, thank you for having me. The historic rate in McLennan County has been 6%, and it's something that I believe the hospitals are requesting again this year, is that 6% rate be set.
Okay. Any other questions? All right. It is 9:07. Let's call a hearing to order. Does anyone want to come and speak to this item?
Yes.
Seeing or hearing none?
Wait, Judge.
Yeah.
We have somebody.
We got somebody coming, Judge.
Oh, good. Okay.
She's behind you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Judge Felton and Commissioners. My name is Kelly Heighton. I'm the manager of advocacy and community investments for Ascension, Texas, which includes Ascension Providence. On behalf of Andy Davis, our president and CEO of Ascension, Texas, thank you for your support of the local provider participation fund that allows Providence to draw down federal dollars and helps us to be sustainable year over year. I am here today to speak in support of the 6% assessment of the local provider participation fund. We appreciate your vote, which helps support our mission to provide quality care and advocate for a compassionate and just society. Lastly, we invite each of you to come to Ascension Providence and take a tour and see firsthand how we serve the McLennan County community. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes.
Thanks for having me. I'm Whitney Wild, and I'm from Baylor Scott and White Health, and I want to echo the sentiments you just heard. We really appreciate your support in the LPPF over the years and all of the positive impact it has for our facilities and our communities. We also fully support the 6% proposed rate.
Thank you. Anyone else? Well, and I can't see the whole courtroom if there's not anyone else. It is 9:09 and we will close the hearing. All right, Dustin?
And the judge, we do need to take the following action on, so M6B is approval of resolution setting the fiscal year 25 rate for the McLennan County Healthcare Provider Participation Program. So Justin or Heather, do y'all want to set this out again?
Sure. The rate that the providers are requesting this year is 6% in order to fund all of the projected intergovernmental transfers that are projected by HHSC for the upcoming year. And as I think that this rate generates approximately $42 million that the hospitals will be paying in order to draw down dollars associated with continuing to provide care to the most vulnerable in McLennan County.
All right. Any questions or comments?
So
What's the pleasure?
I just want to make a couple comments about this. Since 2013, 2015, this has been a really good program. And this helps the hospitals immensely and keep their doors open for uncompensated care and things like that. And so I think I helped support this legislation and testified for it, and I'm glad that we've been able to continue to do this. And the great thing is these are not tax dollars. This is net. This is 6% of the net revenue from the hospitals, and that's what's most important about this is there's not tax dollars being used in this.
Correct.
Okay, great. So, with that support, would you be willing to make a motion?
I sure would. A motion to approve setting the rate at 6%.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. All right.
And
Thank you.
Heather, while you're there, we can go ahead and do the IGT if that's okay. M6C is authorization of intergovernmental transfers of funds derived from the County Healthcare Provider Participation Fund. This is under the Graduate Medical Education Program. Heather?
Yes, sir. So we are requesting to IGT up to the balance in the LPPF of $958,557.23. And as Dustin said, this is for the GME Federal Fiscal Year 2023 retroactive with a due date of Friday, October 25th, and a settlement date of Monday, October 28th, 2024.
Okay.
Motion to approve up to the balance in the LPPF, the account on the day of the IGT.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Thank you.
All right, if we can go to item G3, authorization of agreements for legal services to indigent parents pursuant to Texas Family Code, Section 107.013. G3A is Martinez and Martinez. G3B, McLeod and McLeod. G3C, Smith and Bratcher. G3D, Sibley, Howell and McClinton. And G3E, Law Office of M. Brian Barnhill. I'd like to call on Judge Bennett.
Good morning, and thank you for having me here this morning. Appreciate the work you do and your recognition of the importance of indigent services, indigent legal services. Just as a reminder, the county began contracting with local firms for representing parents in CPS cases 11 years ago under the leadership of Judge Gary Coley, really because the costs were getting out of hand, and this has proved to be a very cost-effective way to provide effective representation for parents in these cases. We're asking the courts today to consider some slight modifications of the contract that's been in place since 2017, really, and so I'll do a little background about that. Department of Family and Protective Services, CPS particularly, basically performs three functions. They investigate claims of child abuse or neglect. If they decide a child needs to be removed from the home, then they provide what are called conservatorship services. Basically, CPS takes temporary custody of the children, and while a case is pending, they provide services both for the child and for the parents to try to achieve reunification over basically a 12 to 15-month period. And then, for those that are not successful, for those whose children are not returned to them, whose rights are terminated, then CPS provides adoption services to place that child with their forever family, as they say, and to give them a permanent home in a safe and stable environment. What has happened really in the last 20 years in CPS is that service providers have been hard to come by, foster parents have been hard to come by close to home. So children were being placed in far away locations, which makes it difficult to maintain the relationship with their parents when they're supposed to have visits and so forth. And I can tell you, I had a client whose son was placed in Harlingen, and it's very difficult logistically and practically to have regular visits with a child that's 400 miles away. It's just not a practical thing. And so the legislature became more concerned about this. In 2017, they passed legislation to require more community-based care, is how they referred to it. And part of this was to divide the state into regions, and also that each region would contract with a nonprofit organization that would basically perform the conservatorship functions that CPS has been performing for all these years. That plan has been implemented slowly and gradually around the state. It's in place in Dallas and Fort Worth, in the Panhandle, Lubbock and Amarillo and Beaumont, San Antonio, and now it's come to Waco, to McLennan County. We are in Region 7A. We're actually in Region 7, which we share with Travis County and some counties surrounding Travis County, but we're divided into 7A, 7B. And right now, CPS, the commissioner of the Department of Family and Protective Services, is accepting bids for a nonprofit to take over the functions that CPS performs while cases are pending. And that has caused a ripple effect really since 2017 when the legislation passed, but here locally in the last 2 years, where CPS employees are jumping ship. They're looking for opportunities at other state agencies, at other divisions of CPS, so that they can preserve their state benefits, because once the nonprofit comes in and takes over those responsibilities, they will no longer be state employees. And so that has caused tremendous turnover here locally at our CPS department. It's placed a lot of hardship on parents and their attorneys in trying to connect to the services they need and trying to even have visits with their children. And so because of that, and because this turmoil, for lack of a better term, in this transition will probably take place for another year, year and a half, the attorneys, we want to compensate them a little bit more for the work they're doing, because they're having to put extra time into each case, and the cases are lasting longer because of all of this chaos, if you will. So what we're asking the court to consider today is an increase of $500 per month per firm, which would amount to $30,000 for a year. That's 5 different law firms that were listed earlier. Another proposal that we have is to take appeals out of the responsibility of the contract attorneys and to assign those to private attorneys at a fixed rate of $125 an hour. And we would cap them at $3,500 per appeal. That would amount to a total annually of $21,000. So what we're asking for in total is an increase of $51,000 in indigent services fees to cover these costs. And I would be happy to answer any questions.
And Judge, you review those for reasonableness and those kind of things?
Absolutely.
Those bills on the appeal
Absolutely.
side. Yeah. And then by separating the appeals, you're able to place it with attorneys that have a good record and experience in dealing with appeals.
Yes, sir. And I would add that this is very similar to how criminal appeals are handled in the felony cases particularly. There's a separate list of attorneys who handle those appeals because they have that certain skill set and are more qualified to do so.
Okay. Any other questions from the Commissioners Court?
I just appreciate the judge coming by and sharing your thoughts on this. And it's been running a long time. We hadn't made a lot of changes, so it was time.
Yeah, and I appreciate Judge Bennett for staying on top of it and coming to us and presenting what he thinks is the best path forward. Appreciate the work that you do.
Thank you.
Is $125 an hour enough?
I believe so. We have already reached out to some attorneys in town who specialize in appellate practice.
So
and
it's
they're-
mainly just writing?
Right, that's right, research and writing.
Okay. Great. It just dawned on me.
It's not what you would make if you were in private practice doing appellate work, I will
Right.
say that, but this is government work.
Okay.
Judge, if I
All
could,
right.
yeah, I'd like to make a motion. If that's all right, Judge?
Yes, sir.
I would move to approve the agreements for legal services to indigent parents with the recommended pay structure from Judge Bennett.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passed. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you so much, appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, we can move on to item M7, presentation update from Mission Waco regarding Creekside Community Village. I'd like to call on John Callaway.
You say M7?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Judge Felton, commissioners. My associate Dusty, who's our chief village officer, is passing around a slide deck that we're going to go through quickly. I think we all know someone in our family who has struggled with mental or behavioral health issues. The difference is we come alongside those individuals, underneath those individuals, to keep them up off our streets and out from underneath the overpasses in our respective cities. We really believe that the single leading factor of homelessness, the cause of homelessness, is the profound, catastrophic loss of family. And that housing alone is not going to solve homelessness, but we really believe that community will. Do you have a slideshow for me, Dustin? A slide deck?
IT should have it, is that right? There we go.
There we go.
All right. I didn't create that logo for nothing. If you want to go to the next slide, these are all statistics that commissioners, you're aware of. Poverty rate is high. Population that is paying excessive housing costs are also significantly high. I think when we presented in 2023 in June to you all about our newest development, opportunity to house homelessness, to correct homelessness, this was a statistic that we were not aware of, but in 2023, our chronic homeless population rose almost 25% from 2022. We believe that if we're not careful, we will continue to see that number rise, and we believe that this development will drastically preclude that from happening. As you'll see, according to the city of Waco and some other research, that it costs us about $39,000, the taxpayer, per person who's unhoused. The research shows that we can reduce that number by half per person per year. If you want to go to the next slide, please, sir. We believe the answer is Creekside Community Village, something that has been on our radar, we've been working on for 3 years. It is a transformative community that combines permanent supportive housing with life-giving community engagement. It really exists, truly exists, for our friends that are exiting homelessness who are looking for a place to call home. At full capacity, we'll have over 300 homes for individuals that have exited homelessness. It is permanent for those who want it, but it's transitional for those who need it. It's not just a community for folks who are exiting homelessness, but it is 20% of folks who are what we call missionals that become a part of the neighboring care that exists in the community. We believe that a mixed income approach creates healthier and more sustainable neighborhoods. Next slide, please. The site that it took many years to acquire and that we purchased is on South University Parks Drive at 3810. It includes 68 acres that backs up against the Brazos River. It's a beautiful piece of property. What we love about this piece of property is that it's outside the city limits, but it's still in the Waco ETJ, so it has accessible, we have access to utilities and so on, and also we can get public transportation as well for those who need it. Over half the property will be exclusively green space that'll have agricultural development, parks, gardens, and we're planning on an outdoor amphitheater as well. If you want to go to the next slide, please. We closed on this property in June of last year, right as the time we were coming to you all to present this idea and this dream that we had. We started all the civil work in August of this year, and we broke ground in October this month, just last week, actually. Next slide, please. You'll notice the location is just, again, right outside the city limits, there alongside Loop 340, Highway 6, and the Brazos River and University Parks Drive. Next slide, please. You'll see a couple pictures outlining where exactly it is. It's a very flat piece of property, which has presented a number of civil engineering challenges with water runoff and so forth. But with Walker Partners, local engineering firm here in town, they have proved to be extremely helpful in mitigating the water issues that we see on the property. If you go to the next slide, altogether, we'll have 346 homes, 168 of those being studios, one room, also 122 being micro homes, and 50 of which are the bigger, larger park model homes, and 6 family bungalows, which will be for missionals as well. Next slide, please. You'll see a picture on your left that is the studio. We don't have a picture of the micro homes because those have not been developed yet. But on the right side, you'll see park model homes. These are all pictures taken from our model, which is a proven, successful model based out of Austin called Community First Village, which is now going into phase 3, which will house more than 1,400 individuals off the streets. Go to the next slide, please. You'll see some of the community amenities that we'll have on site. Very nice commercial, industrial-style kitchens that will be for gathering spaces, cooking demonstrations, and certainly for residential use. If you go to the next slide, you'll see individual bathrooms that will be in centralized locations for our smallest units. These are very, very nice. That'll have shared laundry spaces and shower and bathroom as well. Next slide, please. What you'll see here is our Behringer Family Welcome Home Center, which will act as a number of multi-purpose uses. It'll be for partnering service providers like Behavioral Health Network, Waco Family Medicine, Life Anew, but it'll also be office space. And we all need a place to watch the Super Bowl, so this will be a place to watch the Super Bowl. Next slide, please. Half the property is going to be farming green space. As I mentioned earlier, I'll have a place for an outdoor amphitheater where we'll host concerts and Friday night movies for our residents and for community members all around Waco. The next slide, there in paper form, you'll find a number of frequently asked questions. When people begin to talk about housing and homelessness, guess what? There's a lot of questions. I provided a lot of answers to the most notable questions there in your slide deck in printed form. I did not put this in the online slide deck because it's quite a few pages. Certainly, if you have any more questions, we can go through those. I wanted to highlight, though, the leadership team that have been meeting for more than 3 years. We have Dr. Jimmy Dorrell, who's the founder of Mission Waco, Jay Jeffrey, who's a notable community member here in town, Mr. Billy Davis, who's sitting next to me, who's going to present where we are with fundraising, Dusty Kirk, Lori, myself, and Carlos, who's another staff member. Mr. Billy Davis?
So our fundraising, our phase 1, which is 35 homes and various improvements, is $12 million fundraising effort. $1.5 million of that was for the purchase of our land. The city of Waco gave us $1 million towards that purchase back in June of 23. Our infrastructure cost is $6 million. And if you go to the next slide, well, I'm sorry, I should have backed up. Well, anyway, go one more slide if you would. So this is our phase 1 infrastructure costs. These are all our costs as of July of this year. They change a little bit every month, but they've consistently been around $6 million for our total infrastructure. To date, we've raised 80% of that. We do take 10% of dollars that we've raised and set it up as a capital and operating reserve so that, we have money on the ground in the bank, when we open up. So we've raised $5 million of the $6 million that we need. We're $1 million short on our infrastructure. To build the above-ground improvements is roughly $4 million. We kicked off the fundraising for that last week. Already, we have roughly 10 homes that have been spoken for by local churches and organizations that want to come in and fund, these homes. My fundraising committee consists of Jay Jeffrey, Glenn Robinson, Sarah Roberts, Greg Lime, Diane Sawyer, and Jed Cole. These are the volunteers, and then, of course, various people from the Mission Waco organization. We're here to do two things. We're here to update you on the development of Creekside. As John mentioned, we have started. We have contracts. We're going to have at least the first phase of this completed within a year. What we would really like to do is come to you, the county, and ask for your participation in this project. And the city gave us $1 million. We would love for the county to be able to match that number. And as you can tell, if you were to match that number, it puts us exactly where we need to be on infrastructure. The reason we need and want your participation is twofold. One, we need the money, but secondly, we need for the people in McLennan County to understand that the county is involved and that this is a project that they are willing to participate in. We understand that there may be a chance for reallocation of some ARPA funds. We would certainly like to be considered for that. If $1 million is too much of an ask, you tell us what the number is, and we can make that work. And if you need to have it tied to a specific portion of the project, we can identify items that whatever your contribution is could pay for. I think that's all I need to say about that.
Or if $1 million is too little, let us know that as well. All right. Any questions from the court?
One of the statistics that was up on the screen in 2023, you said there was a 25% increase in homelessness.
Correct.
From the previous year?
Correct, yes, sir. That
was 1 year time.
That's correct.
2023.
And that's from what's called the point-in-time count.
Right, where they do
Where we
go
do
out
that
and-
in January,
yeah.
February of every year.
What did you attribute that? Is it because our area is offering more services to homeless people versus the counties surrounding us, or?
No, that's a great question. I don't believe so, because we've offered a variety of great services over the years. And from 2005 to up until 2023, we saw a 60% decrease in homelessness in McLennan County. So I don't think it's because of the services we provide. It's exclusively, we believe, because of housing. Housing costs have just exceeded the ability for people to afford. When we've seen people come through our emergency shelter, My Brother's Keeper, which is a 56-bed emergency shelter we've had for over 20 years, we've considered people coming through that. We just over and over and over again have seen people back in our shelter because they just can't maintain prices for housing. So affordable housing is what I would attribute
Affordable
that to.
housing.
Correct.
So you're using percentages. What's the real number?
We had 230 or 240 chronically homeless in 2023. So that was up from about 190 in 2022. So we have an opportunity before that number gets much larger. We are not like the West Coast or East Coast or even Austin or Houston or Dallas, in that this challenge can be mitigated with affordable housing. And so before it gets larger, we wanted to step into meeting that need with units that were actually affordable and actually very, very nice for those exiting homelessness.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, well, thank you for your time today. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Appreciate it very much.
All right, thank you very much. We've got several things to analyze on this. Of course, we past the budget time, and that's one issue. The ARPA funds are, they're assigned, but they're, there's, certain conditions on all the assignments of those funds that may or may not come to fruition. There's also a priority list about backup where funding goes from ARPA if it's reallocated. The other thing is the county and the city need to get together and talk about several issues regarding this project. One being any plans the city may have for annexation of this area. And then also, the third thing is, how is this going to affect our patrol side? Because if it's out of the city of Waco, then it ends up being into the county. So we need to understand the impact that will have on our activity through law enforcement, those kind of things. It's, there's great people behind this project, and it's been to many communities. Not all have succeeded, but I think quite a few have. And so we want to stay in contact with you all and continue working forward on this. And we appreciate your time for coming here, and we appreciate the request that you have made.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. All right. This time I'd like to entertain a motion to accept this report for recording purposes.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion, second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. Thank you. All right, Dustin?
All right, that should take care of our outside presenters. Chris Collins will be over about 10:30, so we can move back up to item F. Under F1 is authorization of proposal with M&E Consultants for site visit, drone, and topographic survey of county drainage channels. And I believe we need to keep this deferred as the engineer's office is continuing to gather information.
Motion to defer.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second to defer. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Pass.
F2 is authorization of quote with CDWG software licenses for Udemy Business Professional Development Training Platform. John?
Yes, this is technically a renewal, but we had to change vendors because they lost the DIR contract we had last year. That's why we're bringing it back to court. It is also a slight increase of just over 5%. The total there is $12,205.81, and it is in the FY25 budget. This has been reviewed and is recommended for approval.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Thank you.
F3 is authorization of structured cabling quotes from Extraco Technology. F3A is regarding 1211 Washington Avenue, and F3B is regarding property located at 513 Austin Avenue. TJ?
Yes, so these are the cabling quotes for the offices that we need to move out of the downtown jail. So one of those offices, being P-TIP, will move down to 1211 Washington. The other will move across the street there in the courthouse parking lot to the bank that we're going to rent from Mr. Swords. So we've reviewed these. Everything looks good. We're asking for approval.
All right, any questions? What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve F3A and B.
Second.
All right, well, motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Pass.
All right, moving on to item G, contracts, interlocal agreements. G1 is authorization of contracts for fire protection services with county volunteer fire departments. This needs to be deferred again.
All right, I'll make a motion to defer.
Second.
Motion made second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
G2 is authorization of interlocal agreement with County of Burnett and County of Coryell, Heart of Texas, Auto Theft Task Force, Motor Vehicle Crime Prevention Authority grant. Major Ives?
How are y'all this morning?
Right.
Good.
This is a renewal on the contract for the HOT Auto Theft Task Force. We had a very successful year with the program last year. There's been some minor There's some typos on the contract that we need to get fixed, but ultimately the substance of the contract is correct. We would ask that the court approve this. We'd like to continue with the program. It's been able to produce some very substantive results for the county as far as being part of that task force, having the availability of resources and tools that we have not had in the past, and it has led to a lot of recovery of millions of dollars worth of property for the county taxpayers.
Questions?
Question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the almost 16,000, that's already rolled into the investigator that we already have employed?
Correct.
Okay, so that's how we match our portion of the funds then?
Correct, yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions?
This is just a renewal. I mean, we've started this program several years ago, correct?
Yes, sir. Correct.
Out of curiosity, how many years have we participated?
I think this is the second year.
This will be the
This will be
second
the
year.
second year.
Second year.
This will be the second year, so it's fairly
Well, I
new.
remember
Still
talking,
rookies,
so
all right.
that's why I remember talking about it,
Well-
is because auto theft is such a prevalent problem, and it can be devastating to folks if they do have their car stolen, not only, from a financial standpoint, emotionally. It's really a crime that can affect people in a immense way.
I could not agree more, Commissioner. We have a very interesting report. If the court would like to see it, we can bring to the court and present about the quantity of recovered property, how that property is recovered, the impact to insurance, the impact to the local taxpayer in general, individual impacts. Those individual impacts, of course, for a law enforcement entity are the most significant to us, right? The individual impact, the insurance impact, those things are more of what y'all would possibly care about.
So would okay, so we have this, are we preventing?
Correct. That is part of the program. So there's two sides of the program as far as like how the funding is coming in. And the way that this program is funded, if everyone looks at their insurance, right, there's a MVCP fee on there. That fee is a state mandated fee for everyone that holds an insurance policy. So the state of Texas has imposed that fee on the taxpayers to formulate this task force because the state has recognized this to be a huge problem, right? So I appreciate the state investing in it. I appreciate Burnett County for heading up the task force, of which we're a large portion of. It really does help our citizens to have the assets. Of course, the task force also benefits from our assets as well. We're able to pull on a larger pool of personnel to kind of have that expertise that we didn't have prior to a year ago. And I will throw this caveat out there, Commissioner. We have brought this before the court prior to just last year. We've talked about it for several years and trying to make sense of it and how it works out personnel-wise and grant-wise. So we've been talking about it for a couple of years prior to actually getting on board with the task force. But last year was our last year.
Well, I look forward to seeing if there's any type of metric that can be affected as far as preventing auto theft.
A lot of the prevention, Commissioner, is going to be where you have these people who are running scams on the dealerships with identity theft type issues, or on individuals where they're purchasing vehicles with fake. So that is a preventative measure where we're kind of stopping those things before they occur. And there are some metrics for that, if you would like to see.
David, are these strictly dealing with autos, or do they deal with trailers and anything that's licensed that goes down the highway? Or
I do not want to misspeak for our investigator that deals with this, who's much higher speed than me on the nitty-gritty of it. But my understanding is that they do deal with like large machinery and other items like that.
Right.
But I can give you a report that will, and an expert that can give you better info.
I remember sitting in on a DPS presentation training a few years back, and it blew my mind the number of semi-trailers that go down the interstate that are stolen on a daily basis.
It's substantial.
Unbelievable.
That's why it's 3-day prime instead of 2-day prime now.
Okay, any other questions, comments?
I'd make a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion, second, any discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. Thank you.
Thank you.
G4 is authorization of cloud services agreement and related quote with Liftoff LLC for Microsoft Office 365 licenses. John?
Yes, this item is this is year two of our three-year agreement to roll on to Microsoft Office 365. It's right in line with what we expected, $339,802.56, as we had $340,000 budgeted for FY '25. And this will move 1,000 users, which is almost everyone now, onto the G3 licenses. We'll have just a few people left for year three. Any questions about that?
No.
Any questions?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
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 Software as a service agreement with Tyler Technologies, authorization of amendment for disbursement software for payment management solution. This also goes along with the budget amendment item I2D. John?
Make myself dizzy here. So this is this would be an amendment to our new Tyler contract, or our Tyler contract signed last year, actually. And this is for a payment system to do disbursements for, in this case, specifically juror payments. But this could be extended later on if we did want to expand the program. Basically what this is instead of the current check writing, so currently we write checks and we mail those out to the jurors after their service. They would actually get what you're seeing here, which is a pamphlet. It includes a debit and MasterCard inside. And our district clerk would check people in, scan this, attach it to their name. It would be empty at first. And then once they verify juror service and they're finished or whatever, they would send it over to the treasurer, who would then authorize payment onto the card. The benefits of this, right now, we presume it's about $3.78 to write each check. And through this program, through the cost, which I'll explain in a moment, it would be about $2.57 per check or per disbursement. So it saves us $1.21. And last year and the year before, we were on about 9,500 payments to jurors. So that's up in the $11,495 range savings per year.
Is there any risk that you run with this?
Always risk. However, it's as either equal or less than checks. Because checks, so after 90 days, if the juror does not cash their check, we put a stop payment on that and we collect that, we pull that money back off the check, or we don't ever pay it in effect from the bank. With this debit card, they can pull it right away off the debit card, and then there's no chance of that check actually getting cashed later when it's supposed to be invalid. And as we understand, it doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen where they cash a check after the stop payment. Also, another big benefit to this is the juror has way more options on how they cash the check, or how they get their money, I should say. They can just take this card out once it's been authorized and once it has or dispersed and has the money on it. They can go to a gas station and go elsewhere and use this card. They don't need to, quote unquote, activate it. That it is redeemed as soon as they try to use it. However, they do have options. They can go and put this money into an ACH transaction to their bank. They can get a check written to them if they really prefer the check. And that's all handled by the company, not by us, so it saves us the effort and the money and the mailing and all that sort of thing. So for this reason, we think it's the better option. It is a year-to-year, by the way, contract, so if for some reason we were to find that it didn't work for us in some way, we could always change options after a year. And we can also change the amount, because what this is including, since we were at about 9,500 payments the last few years, and we're on track for that this year, they allowed us 10,500 on this thing you're seeing in front of you, this contract amendment. And they're charging $27,000. Again, that works out to about $2.57 a disbursement. If for some reason we found we were going over or such, then next year we could change that number. So again, this would be $27,000. It is an amendment to our existing Tyler contract. And I think that's all I had. Do we have any questions about that?
The $3.95 per month fee is only if they if they hold it in the card for 100 calendar days. Is that what I'm reading? correct?
This pamphlet is old. The new set is 365 days.
Oh, okay.
So what happens is if they don't use any of this fund, if they don't swipe it somewhere or make some option for some other disbursement, after 90 days, we would reclaim those funds and it wouldn't matter anyway.
Okay.
Now, if they were to use this card and only use a portion of the funds, and they, for some reason, don't use the rest, after a year, they would start getting charged $3.95 a month. And it would obviously deplete those funds, and it.
And who is they? In other words, the charge of $3.95 for not using the card within 365 days, that unspent amount goes to whom?
The payment disbursement company,
So they would get
those funds at
would get the funds.
$3.95 a month. And we, of course, so this pamphlet you're seeing, I forgot exactly which county this is, but it's a county that's currently.
That's not our treasurer and
No.
district clerk.
So our jurors would get something. The reason I handed you this is what the juror would receive, but of course, we'll update the information with all the current charges. And we also would highlight the free options, of course.
Somebody doesn't spend their check right now, where does the money go?
So if they don't cash it within 90 days, the county does a stop payment and gets those funds back.
The county gets the funds.
And that
back.
costs us too, doesn't it?
Right.
And that still happens. If they don't use this card within 90 days, we will reclaim those funds too.
We still will reclaim.
The county
the funds.
reclaims the funds,
Okay.
just as we're doing now.
Okay.
Right now, we're getting about $20,000 a year back on uncashed checks. Using this card, once they transfer a portion if they can hold, but like John was saying, if they've got a balance past that 90 days, there'll be a monthly charge, just like you'd have at your checking account for getting your statement and those kind of things. And if it can finally erode into the balance where there's no value left in it, but at least it gives them an option to take out the rest of the money.
It just seems like it saves a lot of time on our end.
It saves a lot of effort, especially with the district clerk's personnel and all the things they do with the jurors. Saves a little bit of time for the treasurer, not having to, walk those checks over and mail them and such. The real benefit we feel beyond the cost savings to the taxpayer is for the juror having those options. If a juror, for instance, doesn't have a bank account, right now with that check, they're going to pay a fee to get that money. They're going to pay some of their fee, some of their money to get it. With this, they could actually just walk out and use that card. They can also, for free, they can get an ACH transfer and a check written to them. They could actually go, if they have a bank, and it's a major bank that accepts MasterCard, they could go there and just get that money at the teller as well, for free. There's no charge for any of those services. And to be clear, that $3.95 fee per month only starts after a year. So even if they've used it a little bit within the 90 days and we don't reclaim those funds, they still have up to a year to use it.
So I've spent some time talking to Bill Helton, who's done fairly extensive analysis of this. And although Bill's got a lot of questions, he tell you that he had to make some assumptions. And the bottom line is that he supports where we can do it. Once we have a year behind us, we'll be able to look back retrospectively to see if it met our expectations or if there's any issues that have come up. So he supports going forward for a year, as I do as well. The one thing that you said, John, early on is this would be an expandable program. So how would you expand it off of what we're proposing now?
So this disbursements module works with any Tyler product. So as we go along, there are other payments we do through Tyler, even Munis and other things. So if we wanted to, we could expand this throughout the county, really. Anybody uses Tyler to take a payment or disperse a payment.
So we could disperse it through this card, same process, what you're saying.
Yes.
If we had a which I don't know that we do, but if we had employees that didn't have a bank for direct deposit, do we have any, how,
For employees, it's required that
it's required?
that we only do direct deposit, yes. We do
Theoretically,
not
if
do
you
paper
didn't,
checks anymore.
you could pay them with one of these cards.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you can pay them, you talking about, you're paying the payroll?
Yes.
And, yeah, the policy was changed, since I've been here to require that they have a bank account, but before that, it was a way to issue, their compensation through a card like that, but the county chose to require everybody to have a bank account.
Required depository.
There's
Yeah.
also, the one-time fee for instituting this has been waived since we're doing all of our Tyler projects. That's another bonus of doing it now. There's no one-time installation fee. Also, we have approximately $9,000 available in the budget from our Tyler projects. That's unclaimed funds at this point. So we would require a budget amendment of roughly $18,000 to make this happen, which I don't know if it's in this run or
We
not.
have it on today, if approved.
Okay.
Looks good.
All right, any other questions?
And like I say, we've got to, in a year's time, we can look at it and say, hey, yes, this worked great, or no, we didn't like it, so.
Yes, we can make changes.
Okay. Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, have a motion, second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Pass.
Thank you,
Going to item G6 regarding the contracts for software with EDOC Technologies, authorization of fiscal year 25 EDOC Tech invoices. John?
Yes, so, excuse me, in the last session, we approved the 4 EDOC contracts. We felt since there was an increase this year to all the EDOC, well, I was going to say contracts, but all the EDOC agreements. Some are not codified, so we just get invoices every year. And we wanted to bring that before court just to show you what all those costs are and how we've negotiated the 10% increase for FY '25 and then a 10% increase for FY '26. Those are all listed there. The total altogether with the 10% increase is $325,246.50. Are there any questions about this one?
And these are the amounts
Is
we
that in?
already knew about them.
Yes.
Yeah, we talked about them prior, okay.
But they were not budgeted for the increases that.
And I guess, not a lot of recourse on the 10% increase.
No, they were asking for a 20% increase. This was our negotiation of getting them down to 10% this year, 10% next year. As I mentioned last time, the normal range is about 5% a year for any of your uplifts on software. So 10%, yes, is a little more than usual, but I will also point out, in the last 4 years, they haven't raised it a penny. It's been the same for 4 years, so it's not, over the time span, we're still getting basically the same deal, if you will. Actually saving a bit since this will be 5 years, over 5 years, it'll be 20% total.
All right. Any questions? All right, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Oh, second.
Have a motion, second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
Thank you.
All right, item G7 is authorization of customer service agreement with RW Lone Star Security for shredding services for Jack Carwell Detention Center. Ken?
Yes, our current agreement calls for picking up 2 cans monthly, and we had a request to change that to picking up the 2 cans bi-weekly, and so this is just a reflection of that. I believe they were charging $99 for the pickup once a month. Changing it to the bi-weekly, they're going to charge $70 per stop. So anyway, it's a little bit of an increase, but again, we're getting more service.
All right, any questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made, and second, any discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
G8, authorization of professional services agreement and related geotechnical pavement proposal with Langerman Engineering for McLennan County Justice of the Peace Precinct 5 Office Edition proposal. TJ, and this also goes along with the budget amendment.
Yes, so this is a boring quote from Langerman. The original project, whenever it was put together, the original design phases, the geotech report did not go deep enough. So STV is kind of concerned about the depth of those initial reports. So this is an additional cost to the design phase that's going on right now to go ahead and take one more bore to find out where we can hit shell or limestone to make sure we get a good substrate. So we've reviewed it, recommended for approval.
Any questions? Hearing none, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Your second? Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
G9, authorization of interlocal cooperation agreement with City of Bruceville Eddy for cooperative purchase of corrugated steel culverts. Commissioner Smith?
Yes, sir. Bruceville Eddy simply wants to piggyback on our agreement with Wilson to purchase some culverts for use within the city limits of Bruceville Eddy. And I would make that in form of a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
G10, authorization of professional services agreement proposal with BGE for South Old Bruceville Road at tributary to Prather Creek culvert replacement project. Zane?
Yes, sir. This is a culvert that was washed out during the heavy May rains on South Old Bruceville Road. The Precinct 1 Road and Bridge crew has temporarily patched it up, but it needs to be replaced with a more permanent culvert system. And so this agreement submitted by BGE is recommended for approval. It's in the amount of $67,660, but then there's some additional services for on-site representation during construction and construction administration phases, which would be a total fee of $100,620. This proposal has been reviewed and is recommended for approval.
Any questions? All right, what's the pleasure of the board?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Pass.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, item G11, authorization of workplace solutions cooperative acceptance agreement with Centos for uniforms for road and bridge precincts and maintenance of buildings departments. Ken?
We have been working with the Road and Bridge and for maintenance of equipment, looking at changing our uniform services from UniFirst to Centos. This contract reflects the per each price on the different uniform types. And basically, it's a 3-year contract. It is under Omnia cooperative agreement. It is basically 3-year, but we do have a non-appropriation clause written into the contract. Again, we've been working with all the precincts on this, and I think this should be ready to be signed.
Any questions?
Government contract, is that what you said, Ken?
It's on Omnia Partners, and that's a cooperative agreement that we
Cooperative, okay.
belong to.
Okay, thank you.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, have a motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
G12 is authorization of contract for services with Texas Language Connection for interpreting services for the 19th District Court. This is for sign language interpretation services for the 19th District Court, so we just need a motion to approve this contract.
I'll make that motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
G13 is regarding the non-exclusive license agreement with Indigent Healthcare Solutions, authorization of annual renewal. Ken or Heather?
Yes, Heather contacted us and it came up time for a renewal or do something different, but Heather would like to continue this service. I believe that was at no difference in cost. And if approved, it'd be from December 19th of 2024 through December 18th of 2026. It is a 2-year agreement.
26?
26, it's a 2-year?
Yes.
Your agreement?
Yes.
Okay.
Motion to
Everybody
approve.
clear about what they do?
Yes.
Okay, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second, any other discussion? Discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
G14 is approval of interlocal cooperation agreement with Liberty County for housing and care of inmates. Major Ives.
Commissioners, Liberty County has contacted us with a situation through TCJS where we're trying to provide them with some assistance to house some inmates for them temporarily while they resolve some issues with their county jail's maintenance. We're going to house approximately 80 inmates for them. That's still being finally worked out based on classification, medical condition, other issues like that. But we're going to work it out to get the maximum amount of people to give them the maximum relief we can. It also helps us stand out through TCJS. It's our standard agreement, 8412, 2814 guard services, and 67 cents a mile for transportation if those transportation services are required. So we'd recommend that the court approve this so we can start helping those folks. They're going to have an emergency session for their court where they're going to try and pass this contract and run it through, I believe, on Thursday. Just to give you all that full disclosure.
Major Ives, is there a minimum in that contract? In other words, it's, let's just say it's up to 80, but they all of a sudden pick up 70 of them and you still had to put in the additional cost to handle the whole 80. Do we have safety there? Is that okay with you? Or?
We do. So we're under no, I don't want to say we're under no commitment to hold their inmates for them indefinitely if it's no longer beneficial for the county to do so. I think it's right to give them a reasonable amount of time, Judge. So if they picked up 70 of them, but I don't foresee that's going to happen. What's going to happen is as they make progress with their facility, I'm sure that they will start to tessellate those people back out to their facility in lower numbers. At a point where we get fairly low, like 10, the number that you're saying, I don't think we'll ever get to just holding like a handful of inmates. That's not going to happen. We're not going to allow them to do that. We'll ship them out in bus loads, basically, as they bring their facility back up for operation.
Okay, and so we're expecting this to be 6 months or so. I mean, they have to improve their facilities. That could take a while.
6 months was that's a very rudimentary understanding. It is, Judge. It's the best I can give the court right now. I don't want to say something that I don't know for sure. Of course, I don't even know 6 months is accurate. We can provide the services for them as long as they need and as long as TCJS needs that assistance and requires or asks us for that assistance for them as well.
Okay, and your plan is to be able to manage this without really affecting the Marshall contract that we have now.
Correct. We're gonna make some moves, and we're going to essentially just clear out an entire pod specifically for these inmates, so that we can minimize the impact on staffing. It will actually be very minimal overall for our staffing, so that we can try to remain, not just provide them with the help, but lead the county in that 6 month to year-long positive equity position on not being upside down on the deal.
Yeah, okay. And then you'll be able to kind of eliminate certain types of inmates that require a lot of help and maintenance and those kind of things.
Incorrect, Judge. We've talked to Samantha there at Liberty County and given her kind of a rundown of what we can and cannot accept. And of course, people who require medical segregation, constant care or have high morbidity illnesses, we're not going to accept those. Essentially, what it boils down to make it simple, Judge, if they can't live in general pop, we're not going to accept them.
Yeah, good deal. All right, thank you. You've done a good job on that, and I would make a motion.
I have a question.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
On the $84.12 per man is, how do we come up with that number and what it's is that where we are at on cost, or is that our retail price, or?
The retail. Okay, so that's our JOEI assessed values. So that is what we charge on our JOEI.
JOEI.
That is the document that we filled out when we did the assessment for the federal. We're actually in the process of going through that again right now. So here's the caveat. We charge everyone the same thing. Years and years ago, we used to have wild rates. Like we're doing Corral County a favor. We're only going to charge them $40 a day. And so that hurt us in contract negotiations with the Marshal Service. We will never engage in that ever again. Whatever that JOEI document says is what the per diem rate is what we are going to charge these counties. It's fair. It's across the board. We are consistent in that application of the per diem rate, the guard rate, and the mileage rate. We do not charge disparaging rates for any entity that seeks to house with us.
So this is like it's like a standard rate then? It's it's not a, I mean, it's a, I don't know, it's a government rate. How about that?
It actually, I can tell you what it's calculated on without getting too much of how the cake is made, Commissioner, but we actually look at our salaries, our ancillary services, so we even look at like the auditor's office and the purchasing department and how much of their labor goes into what the jail does every day, and that is how that rate is established.
Okay, sure.
So it's
It's
based
complicated
on,
then.
but it's based on a realistic cost to the county, so
Okay.
it's very transparent, I think.
Is that a template that's furnished you that you plug those numbers in and it gives you a total?
Somewhat. It's a little bit more, I don't want to say complicated, but arduous than that maybe. But yes. It's several hundred pages of templates. So,
Put that in a computer form.
yeah.
Judge, motion to approve the contract with Liberty County.
Okay. I've already made the motion.
How about a second, Judge?
Yeah,
How
it'll
about-
work. Thank you.
Or I'll just vote for it, whatever you want me to.
Okay, thank you. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Major.
Right, moving on to item H, capital improvement and construction projects. H1 is discussion under action regarding bridge low water crossing projects. Judge, did you just want to show this as no action taken again?
Yeah, this is a discussion that we'll have more in depth when we have our retreat to kind of get our arms around all the road and bridge projects and try to understand timing and prioritization and how we're going to fund those. So I would like to, so are you saying defer, or are you?
I think, Judge, if we want to do that, if we just want to pull with no action and move to the retreat agenda, we can do that.
All right, I'll pull with no action. Thank you. All right. Next.
All right, H2, I'm sorry, go ahead, Judge.
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
H2 is regarding hail damage roof repairs, quote from Clark Roofing. H2A is authorization of application for payment number 2 for records building roof repairs. H2B, authorization of application for payment number 3 for records building roof repairs. H2C, authorization of application for payment number 2 for juvenile detention building roof repairs. Kent?
Yes, and I kind of confirmed this with TJ, but application number 2 for records is in the amount of $24,891.63. Application payment app number 3 for records building is in the amount of $3,200. And the application number 2 for juvenile is in the amount of $55,274.94. And I will say that they are very close to finishing each one of these roof projects, and so I think I'll have quite a few pay applications next court.
Okay, any questions for Ken? If not, is there a motion to approve the pay application number 2?
So moved.
All right, we have.
So we,
Hey,
you want
hey,
to,
There's some threes in here too. Pay,
So,
application number 3.
You want to do these
Right.
H2A, H2B, H2C, Dustin? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That'd be good.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the pay applications under H2A, H2B, and H2C.
Second.
Thank you. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
H3 is regarding the Holy Road at North Cottonwood Creek Low Water Crossing Project, agreement with Bear Creek Construction, authorization of application for payment number 2. Zane?
Yes, sir. So this is for the low water crossing on Holy Road. It's pay app number 2 in the amount of $105,695.67. Their pay app has been reviewed and it's recommended for approval.
Motion to approve the pay application number 2.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
H4 is regarding construction of Panther Branch Road Bridge at Rock Springs Creek, agreement with Knife River Corporation South. And we have several items here, so I'll read those all in first thing. H4A is authorization of construction contract change order number 1. H4B is authorization of application for payment number 9 final. H4C is recording of contractor's affidavit of bills paid. And H4D is recording of project warranty for general construction. Zane?
Thank you, Dustin. So this is wrapping up Panther Branch Road Bridge. And it used to be a low water crossing. We've built a bridge. And so the first item here, H4A, is a change order number 1, which is cleaning up the dollars, and it basically decreases the project by $11,891.34, and that's due to materials that were not used in the original contract. And then it's recording the affidavit of all bills have been paid by the general contractor, the warranty for the project, and then we also have the pay app number 9, which will be their final pay application. And so all of these items have been reviewed and are recommended for approval.
Okay, what's the pleasure of the court if there's no questions?
Motion to approve H4A through H4D. Is that correct?
Second.
All right, we have a motion, second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Pass.
H5 regarding Chapel Road improvements, agreement with Kasparian Underground doing business as H&B Contractors, authorization of application for payment number 8. Zane?
Yes, sir. So H&B is working on Chapel Road. It's going well. Payment number 8, application in the amount of $711,644. Let me say that again. $711,644.88. Of that, McLennan County's portion is $236,301.11. And the rest is for City of Waco's water line improvements. The pay app has been reviewed and is recommended for approval.
All right, any questions? If not, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, I have a motion, second. No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Thank you.
Okay, I think at this time, let's take about a 10-minute break, and we'll come back after that. Thank you. 10:18.
He's not a
Yeah.
very,
It's not methodical.
no. Alrighty.
Recording in progress.
Okay. It's 10:28. Let's call court back into session. So I don't believe we have anything under item I.
Judge,
see,
I
yes,
will
we-
be the budget
Yeah, I will.
amendments.
Budget.
Yeah,
Budget amendments.
Budget.
yeah, okay. All right, Francis?
She's not here right now, Judge.
Oh, okay.
Dustin, do we want to go to?
All right.
Well, how about we just
Yes,
start, and
sir.
if we have a question on
Yeah.
one, we just hold it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so I-1A is for adult probation. This line item transfer of $40 for costs related to shredding services. I-1B is Constable Precinct 1, line item transfer of $60 for costs related to a TransUnion invoice for online searches. I-1C is Criminal District Attorney, line item transfer of $2,000 for costs for the remainder of the fiscal year. I-1D is Law Library Fund, line item transfer of $60 for costs for legal reference materials for the 74th District Court. I-1E is Indigent Defense, and this is going to be the cleanup of various expense lines in that department, totaling $47,607. I-1F is Justice of the Peace Precinct 4. It's a transfer of $60 for cost of business mileage reimbursement. I-1G is Justice of the Peace Precinct 5. It's a line item transfer of $1,800 for travel reimbursement costs related to training. I-1H is Jury Service, transfer of various lines, including general fund contingencies, totaling $47,300 to cover costs for the remainder of the fiscal year. I-1I, Maintenance of Buildings. It's a transfer of $1,975 for fuel costs for the remainder of the fiscal year. I-1J is Road and Bridge Precinct 2. It's a line item transfer totaling $15,349 to clean up the departmental budget for year end. I-1K is a line for Road and Bridge Precinct 3, line item transfer totaling $3,060 for fuel and waste management costs for the remainder of the fiscal year. And I-1L is County Sheriff, line item transfer of $6,500 for fuel costs for the remainder of the fiscal year. And that's all the FY24 budget amendments.
All right, are there any questions about any of those? If not, is there a motion to approve items I-1A to I-1L?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Pass.
All right, and I-2.
Francis
Yes,
is
ma'am.
back.
I'm back. I apologize. I can go over the 2025 budget amendments.
You're good. So we're at I-2, Francis.
So these are for 2025. So these are all projects or items that have occurred after the budget was adopted at the end of August. So starting with I-2A1, and this is in Fund 401, the Permanent Improvement Fund. So this was a project that was not completed by the end of the fiscal year, so we are needing to increase the budget for that project, and that would be electrical upgrades at Jack Harwell Detention Center. I-2A2, this is also in Fund 401, and this is related to item G8 that you approved today. This is increasing a line item for the JP5 building modifications, and it is related to the proposal from Langerman Engineering. I-2B, this is in Fund 418, which is our venue project construction fund. And so on September 17th, you approved an agreement with Populous. And so they are working on a development study for the venue project. And so this accommodates that budget in a line item specific for that project in Fund 418. I-2C, this is General Fund Maintenance of Buildings, requesting to move within their department into software licensing. This is directly related to an agreement that you approved on September 3rd with Johnson Controls. I2D, this is General Fund Information Technology. This is a request to increase the Tyler software line from contingencies for $18,000. And this is related to item G5, which was the jury the jury portal disbursements module that you approved earlier in the agenda. And that concludes the 2025 budget amendments.
Okay. Any questions about that? If not, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve I2A through I2D.
Second.
All right, I have a motion. Second, any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Pass.
All right, we have nothing under item J, real estate right-of-way this week. Under item K, grant proposals. K1 is our ARPA discussion. K1A is authorization of legal services invoices from Haley and Olson PC for ARPA matters for September 2024. This invoice totals $200. It's been reviewed and recommended for approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right, I have a motion. Second, any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
K2 is regarding the Bureau of Justice Assistance Adult Treatment Court Program, authorization of grant award for the DWI Drug Court Post-Adjudication Treatment Program Award. Back in April, we approved the submission of this grant application. It has been awarded. An amount total $679,180 is for a 4-year term, and there is a 25% match from the county, and we just need a motion to approve this grant award.
All right, any questions on that?
So our portion would be $169,795?
I haven't done the quick math, Commissioner, but that should be correct.
25% of the 679, 180.
Yes, I wouldn't question the superintendent in any way in the world, so. Pleasure of the court.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion. Second, any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
K3 is regarding the statewide automated victim notification service, SAVINS grant, authorization of 5th contract renewal of participating entity service agreement with APRIS Insights. So APRIS is the certified vendor through the Office of the Attorney General. They receive their payments through the OAG, and they provide these victim notification services on behalf of the county. So we just need a motion to approve this contract renewal.
So move.
Second.
All right, I have a motion. Second, any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
K4 is regarding the Office of the Governor, Public Safety Office, State Homeland Security Grant Program, LATPA projects, authorization of grant award. I'd like to call on Michael Graham.
Good morning.
Morning.
The Sheriff's Office Bomb Squad applied for the Homeland Security Grant again this year. We've done this every year for the last several years. We sought full funding for a bomb suit through this program. Due to the competitive nature of the grant and limited funds, we were given partial funding at the local level through HotCog and also at the state level. So the state has agreed to award us $36,138.69 for the purchase of a bomb suit. Leaves us about $7,300 short of what we need to actually purchase the suit. But we would like to go ahead and receive those state funds and then seek funding elsewhere for the remainder.
So this went through HotCog first? Is that how you went through it?
Correct. We applied for the grant through HotCog. They make recommendation fundings to the state, and the Office of the Governor then accepts those recommendations or adjusts those as funding is available.
So this was this the recommendation from HotCog for the 3869, or did they recommend for all of it and the state reduced it?
So initially, HotCog did not recommend funding due to some grant requirements. We made the cut, if you will, where they had to give us some funding for that. And so the $36,000 was the money that was there that had to be allocated for under the LEPTA projects for this type of program.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any other questions?
So we're $7,300 short.
Yeah.
You two guys that sit on the HotCog board, y'all just split that and we'll be fine.
Okay.
All right. I'd like to ask for some credit.
Can I get one of those debit cards?
If there's no other questions, I'd make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion, second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Pass.
Right, K5 is regarding the Texas Indigent Defense Commission FY 25 formula grant, authorization of submission of grant application and related resolution. This is the annual grant we apply for that's based off a formula on the percentage of the county's percent of state population and then the county's percent of statewide direct indigent defense expenditures based on the previous year. So we just need a motion to be able to submit this grant application and related resolution.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion, second, any questions? No questions, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
And Commissioners, has Chris Collins came in yet?
Wow, that's amazing.
Amazing.
You opened the door as you were
Yeah,
asking.
walked in the door.
All right, well, good deal. Well, Chris, if you're ready, we can go on to item M9, Greater Waco Chamber of Commerce Monthly Economic Development Report for August 2024.
Well, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
So you have in your packet our monthly report. When you think about what's happening in our market right now, activity is still really strong. I feel like I say the same thing to y'all over and over again, but we really are having a great year. The August report was great. We were able to announce the EFC project in McGregor. And then we've had the opening of Knopf Insulation. We did a tour of graphic packaging. Walmart is well under construction, and so is MFS in the Robinson Business Park. So there's a tremendous amount of activity that's happening in the marketplace right now, and more to come. So what I would, just looking at what's happening right now, we're pretty on par with where we were in 2023. I would say one thing that we've noticed towards this latter part of the year, and it's not uncommon for us to see this during an election year, is there's a little bit of a slowdown as people wait and see what's happening, what's going to happen at the federal level. And I think that will have potentially some impacts on some of the industries that have looked at or received some pretty significant federal support, and potentially changes one way or another. You know, there will be a change, but one way or another, either things are going to push forward in certain industries, or there may be a pullback. So that remains to be seen. So I think that companies are sitting on the sidelines a little bit as they wait for that. But overall, we're still getting a lot of inquiries. The state of Texas is receiving a lot of inquiries, still in higher tech industries, which is great. And we are definitely casting our line when it comes to that, so that we're part of that too. One of the things that I wanted to just point out with our business retention program that we recently did, every other year we do an industry celebration. So we alternate back and forth between corporate appreciation event, where we bring in our corporate headquarters and large industry folks to say thank you. And then industry appreciation, we pick one particular industry and we do a celebration for that. And Lexi picked the construction industry this past couple weeks ago, and she partnered with the AGC. And they went and provided drinks and candy to construction workers across the county, just to say thank you. Gave them a little gift bag and just said thank you for your hard work. I think that that's important, because it's we get the opportunity to work with these companies and everything, but at the end of the day, somebody's got to build it and make it happen. And those folks that are out there, especially during these hot summers and extreme weather and all those things, and that are doing the hard work, I mean, we really, really appreciate them. And so we wanted to just recognize that, not only do we thank businesses, but we thank the people that work for those businesses, because they, at the end of the day, are making the impact in the community. So I wanted to let y'all know that had happened. And So that's my report for the month of August. Be happy to answer any questions that you might have about what's going on.
I would say, don't apologize for coming in and giving us good news every week, every time. We like that, Chris.
Appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
When you say things have trailed off, what exactly have you seen
I think what we've seen
trailing off?
is the number of leads, inquiries coming in. So we gauge that in a variety of different ways, and we've just seen, and having done this a couple of times and gone through a couple of election cycles, we tend to see that there's a slowdown in that end of the third quarter, going into the fourth quarter of an election year.
Sure, right.
Everybody's holding their breath.
I think so.
regardless.
I think the whole world, I mean, like the whole economy is just on hold right now.
Yeah.
You
saw a little-
You see some prices coming down and things like that even also too.
You saw a little bit of people, where people were holding back because interest rates were really high, the cost of money. And some companies said, well, we're sitting on a lot of cash, so we'll just pull from our cash reserves and keep pushing forward instead of going out and borrowing cash, and paying for it. But other companies have said, we want to be able to leverage funds in different ways, and so we're going to wait until the cost of money comes down a little bit more. So there's lots of different factors that go into it. Judge, you were going to say something?
No, nothing important. Is there any other questions for Chris? Is there a motion to approve a report for recording purposes?
So move.
Second.
All right, that motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. And I think, Chris, you wanted for us to go into executive session and talk about some economic development.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
I can make it quick.
All right, I'd like to go into executive session under section 551.087 of the government code regarding economic development activity regarding negotiations and contractual things. So it is 10:45. So we'll go into executive session. We'll come back out after that. Thank you.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Okay. It is 11:05. Let's call court back into session. So Dustin, you want to pick us up from where we left off?
Yes, sir. So we can go to item L, Department Office Specific Requests. L1 is County Sheriff, authorization of K-9 retirement request, and authorization of release to handler. I like to call them Major Ives.
Question first, Dustin. Do we need to accept the report from Chris?
I think we already did, Commissioner.
Just, we
We
can't.
did it before we went into executive session? Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
All right, Commissioners, we have a request from our department to retire Bullet the K-9 after 7 years of outstanding and faithful service. Bullet was acquired in 2017 with funds from the Edward Bryan Memorial Justice Assistance Grant Program. Bullet's been involved in numerous large narcotic seizures, operations, locally, federally, assisted with events at local schools and churches, and has aided the law enforcement mission of creating just a generally safer community for all of our constituents. We would like to retire Bullet from service and relinquish him as a county asset to live the remainder of his life with his handler, Deputy Ethan Pavlos.
All right, any questions on Bullet? All right, let's wish Bullet a happy retirement, and I make a motion to approve the request.
Second.
All right, have a motion second, any other discussion? No discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Thank you.
Thank you.
L2 is Heart of Texas Fairgrounds, Extra Event Center, authorization of reimbursement for Waco paving invoice. This is for dust control. This was done prior to the fair, similar to what we did last year. It was done in the venue area, so we would like to request these funds used for this to come from the venue fund as well. So just need a motion to approve this reimbursement with the funds coming from the venue fund.
Motion to approve the reimbursement.
Second.
Motion made and second, any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
L3 is Constable Precinct 5, authorization of cell phone request. Call on Chief Deputy Klanica.
He's not in the court right now.
Okay, I know they were requesting a cell phone for their new hire deputy. So Ken, do you have anything to add?
No, it's just a new deputy, again, for a position they hadn't had a phone before, so.
It was a new position, and I know in their amounts that they presented to the court, that amount was in there. So my motion would be to approve the request for the new cell phone.
How much is it per month? $23 or something like that?
Like 20, no, it's like close to 29 something.
Okay, and that includes the phone with the case, too?
Yes.
Okay, second.
All right, have a motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
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 And I'm sorry, it does not include the case. The case is an extra cost. The 29 is the monthly
Service charge.
service.
That
Yeah.
changes everything.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can.
So does the motion and the second still stand?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
L4 is Road and Bridge Precinct 4, ratification of order approving the acceptance of certain property donated by Jerry Needler. Commissioner Perry?
Yes, this is just some material that we can use. He asked if we could, and we're always willing to accept some material. And this is just ratifying the order approving the acceptance. So I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second to accept this from Jerry Niemeyer, and all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
L5, purchasing, authorization of online auction with Renee Bates, related ad, and order declaring certain property as surplus and authorizing the disposition of same. Ken?
Yeah, we have a number of lots out at the jail, 39 to be exact, of various out-of-service kitchen equipment and that sort of thing. And it's We're seeking permission to send this through the auction dates. We don't have those specific yet. We were waiting for Renee Bates to tell us when they could run the auction, but we're trying to get it done as quickly as possible.
All right. Any questions? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Have a motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passed.
Moving on to item M. M1 is authorizations regarding the McLennan County Christmas event, including approval of orders for acceptance of donations, approval ratifications of purchases, and related matters. And this is approval of order for donations that are listed in your packet. We just need a motion to approve those, the acceptance of those donations.
I'll make a motion, we accept those.
Second.
A motion made and second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
M2 is regarding the McLennan County Employee Policy Guide. M2A is authorization of amendments to Section 7.04 Performance Pay Plan, formerly Incentive Pay Plan. I believe we need to keep this deferred.
Yes, sir. I'll make a motion, we defer.
Second.
Motion made and second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
I would just comment, I'd like to see us be able to put it to sleep here one of these days.
Well, that's why we pushed it to the retreat.
Okay.
All right, moving on to M2B, authorization of revised Section 7.05 Sheriff's Office Structured Step Pay Plan, and also related is M2C, authorization of FY25 Sheriff's Office Step Plan Implementation Rules. I'd like to call on Anna and Major Ives.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have here a request to revise section or chapter 7.05 of the Employee Policy Guide. And that section relates to the Sheriff's Office Structured Step Pay Plan. So before budget and during budget, Major Ives and I reviewed a pay structure update that they wanted to propose. We had this step plan reviewed by the third-party compensation consultants that we invited this summer to review our countywide structure and then our individual pay plans, including the step pay plan. The goal was to make the pay plan more in line with the typical compensation structure seen for public safety positions. And we feel like that's what this plan accomplishes. And the consultants agree. The updated step plan structures its steps and tiers to concentrate more of the reward for longevity amongst deputy, base deputy, and base jailer positions. Our current plan that we have in place has a total of 3 or 4 steps for each rank, and it doesn't really differentiate enough between those entry-level positions and the ranked positions. And we feel, as the Sheriff's Office, HR, and these compensation consultants feel that there needs to be more of a differentiation between these entry-level positions because that's where the turnover is. And that's common, here, and that's what's seen with other public entities. And so that's what this structure accomplishes. So there are more steps created for those base or entry-level positions, both at the jail and on the law enforcement side. The amounts of the steps, so that's each individual step entry all the way to the max step, is in line with the salary survey that was conducted by the compensation consultants. So they reviewed and are recommending the amounts as well. HR's reviewed it. We've also reviewed the amounts and are recommending the amounts. This policy, what it does is actually incorporate the administrative steps to administer the plan on an ongoing basis. And so during budget, we said, hey, this is how we want to structure the plan. It's recommended by the consultants, and this is the estimated budget for implementation. This policy that goes along with that plan, the updated plan, stays within that budget. So that's what this request outlines, is the updated STEP policy, adopting it into our employee policy guide.
And can I make one quick comment? I don't know why you're flipping through.
Yeah.
The other major issue for the two individuals, but everyone as well, who've been in law enforcement before, is the scavenging of positions, right? So when the current plan is you're going to have the most turnover and movement in your proletariat level positions. And the problem with it is trying to adjust those salaries was always clipping the supervisor above. So in the old plan, then you've got to adjust that supervisor, then that supervisor clips the next one, and it's a domino effect, right? This system eliminates that. So there's a lot more flexibility for not just the sheriff's office, but for HR and the county to look at those targeted positions in which we're having a hard time, a lot of turnover or hard times retaining people, to make salary adjustments specific to those positions without any repercussions up the chain of that becoming scavenging of those other higher ranked positions.
And then I was just finding my notes because I just wanted to identify the primary changes, the features that are changing for this new STEP plan compared to what we currently have in place. And so, do you have the table that you could share?
I do. If I
Are you logged in?
no, I'm not on Zoom.
Okay, I am. Let me go ahead and share it. So this is the table that is embedded in the policy, the updated policy that we're requesting approval for. So this is the accompanying step table. The primary changes between what we currently have in place for the step plan and what this policy would incorporate is, again, you could see there, the orange column, we have more steps for base, deputies, and jailers, okay, which was the goal going into this project for the sheriff's office. Another change that is in line with the market pay structure for public safety is having steps, having employees earn steps annually. Currently, we have kind of awkward steps. We have steps earned at 1, 3, or 5 years. And so an employee isn't seeing a step earned annually, so that's another change. The court, responded well to the staffing need by altering the current plan and changing that year 3 step to 2 years for jailers because we had that staffing shortage. And so that was kind of the short-term solution. What we're seeing here is that long-term solution, and that is more typical amongst other entities with public safety positions. Another feature that is different from what's currently in place to what's being proposed here is receiving their next scheduled step at their anniversary date or the pay period of their anniversary date versus waiting for some, possibly 11 months to October 1st to earn or receive the reward of their next step. So that's another key change, and that is in line with other public safety administration of
Now,
these.
say that again. What changed on that now?
So currently, what we have in place is, let's say you earn your step for your, based on your anniversary date, you don't actually get the pay until October 1st, following your anniversary date. So you have the possibility of waiting 11 months until you actually see the pay for that.
Depending on when you were hired.
Exactly. And so what this policy does is change that to have your pay for your next earned step effective the pay period of your anniversary date. Okay, so that's another thing that's changing under this proposed policy. And another change that is in line with what other public agencies or how other public agencies administer their law enforcement step plan is the not automating the application of a general adjustment or cost of living adjustment. So our current plan previously, it kind of just was automatically updated and the cost of living or COLA that was approved for that budget was automatically applied to the table or step plan itself. Other agencies don't do that. They actually look at their step pay table on its own individually based on market. And so HR would plan to continue what it had done in the past, which is conduct salary surveys to see how the plan amounts compare to market and presenting that separately to court for possible adjustment if needed. So that's another primary change.
This is nothing new, though. This is what we discussed at budget. You're just
Exactly.
presenting it again.
Yeah,
So this is
going over, nothing's changed with it.
Nothing, it's really just, here is now the policy that's going to help our offices, including the auditor's office, sheriff's office, and HR, administer the plan. So we want to amend the policy to incorporate the administrative steps, and then we also, the second piece of what is being requested is the actual implementation rules. Like, these are the rules that will be followed in order to apply, to change employees' pay from the old plan to the new plan. And so,
And this is what we've already seen prior.
yes, so a difference I want to identify that is from what was presented at budget to now is the application of prior experience. So estimates and budget were based on pay currently on file and tenure currently being counted under the existing plan. The sheriff's office is going to be compiling a plan to actually start to count prior experience that had not been applied under our current plan. And that came about through a previous amendment to the previous step plan back in 2019, I believe, where, hey, we're going to count prior experience from an outside agency from now moving forward for hires, but those who already had stuff on the books prior to 2019, like, your pay's not changing.
And that was
Lost out.
that was a flip switch to commissioner. So you have almost 60 individuals who, if they were hired on September 30th, did not get credit for prior tenure. And if they were hired on October the 1st, started out as a 7-year deputy, and the other guy started as a 0. We have got to eliminate that arbitrary date. There's another arbitrary date in there that exists too for when we started counting prior experience with the county, such as we have an employee works for us for 5 years, moves off to Colorado, and then comes back to work for us. The policy had excluded that prior tenure from counting in the past, so counting.
The new policy corrects both these issues and everybody's comfortable.
No.
No, everybody's not comfortable.
So, and it's not a comfort thing.
Yeah.
It's just a budget thing.
Yes.
Because that would be great to, of course, count that tenure. But that was not included in the original estimate or budget. What was the salaries that were in effect then and the experience on the book at that time was what was used for the estimate. So the current budgeted amount for this new plan implementation is the $1,480,000. So,
That was in the budget.
yes.
Correct.
But adding on this feature of applying previous tenure that had not counted before, there is an additional cost to that does take it above that budget. But the sheriff's office has kind of a plan formulating and a way to subsidize that
And I'll briefly
outside
go.
of that budget.
I can briefly touch on it because commissioners, all we're looking for is acceptance of, like today, the policy for it so that we can just move forward and not get stuck in neutral, just spinning our wheels here. You're not committing to any funds necessarily on this at all. But what I've discussed with Anna and Francis is the utilization of SB 22 funding specifically for this so that it is zero additional cost to the county taxpayer and that will also suck up, or you can also use SB 22 for fringe. I think that correcting this problem is the prior tenure issue is a huge deal, because the people that it affects, we are still of the mindset that this program is for the orange and the blue that you see up there. It is for the proletariat, entry-level, and first-line supervisor employees. The raises that are going out, or the application to the pay tables, 88% of all the money expended will go to those two groups, and that is the primary goal. It is a very minor portion that goes to the top end. It is very bottom-end heavy to take care of that proletariat workforce, which,
What's the
problem?
estimate?
1.76.
That's total, so the difference
Yeah,
would be the,
taking the new.
Correct. Correct.
Say that again?
1.76.
About 300,000 more.
Correct.
It's about 300,000 more between the 1.4 and
200,
1.7.
yeah, 260-ish.
Give it, okay.
So
And you're saying, and we get how much? SB 22?
500,000.
So $500,000,
We get
500,000, the sheriff's
500,000.
office.
So
I'm
300
very
would be
leery.
Huh?
I'm very leery of SB 22 money, and that's, I mean,
And Commissioner, I can tell you in this fiscal year, Francis, there'd have to be some number pulling. The plan as it is right now is not to roll this out due to logistical problems possibly until December. So we're already going to be a quarter behind paying. I don't think there's going to be any additional money that may be necessary by the time we get to a December rollout. Like, we're already a quarter into the year and zero funds have been expended at that point.
And I, excuse me for jumping on the bandwagon one way or the other, but SB 22 truly was designed to supplement
So,
law enforcement.
to do the
salaries.
exact thing, yes.
To increase
And,
salaries.
and how long would it, let's assume that this went into effect today, and we used SB 22 money, how long would it take us to break even,
To wean off?
to weed off? of
Okay,
that?
okay,
Yeah.
that's a valid question. So the estimate that I have looked at for that, because it wouldn't be like the district attorney's money, where they're saying, here's money assigned to an individual, and if SB 22 goes away, that money vaporizes. This money is being utilized to fix the tenure problems from the old system and adopt them into the new. So the county would be essentially saying, we are going to adopt the cost if SB 22 went away. But with the caveat of, that's exactly what SB 22 was intended to do. And after 4 years of running the program, people would have naturally slotted into those positions anyway, because that's the maximum previous tenure. So if SB 22 continues for 4 years, there is essentially going to be very little to no cost, almost administrative costs for.
And so basically, we're saying, and you said we're getting past the current allotment.
Correct.
So 3 additional years.
Correct.
1 legislative session, basically.
And every year, that additional commitment above the 1.48, it's just going to drop because the natural
Down.
tiering of
It goes down.
I think we got to look at it this way. I agree with Commissioner Jones. I'm leery. If we're going to fund it, we need to fund it as if we didn't have Senate Bill 22
I
funds.
agree, and that's what I was going to say. I think,
Okay.
not knowing what the next legislative session holds, if they leave it in there, they could lower the population brackets, they could do different things to change
our
that.
population could go through the bracket.
Yes, and so I think, yes, if you approved of that policy with those adjustments, it's because you agree that that policy needs to be in place like that, no matter if there was
Regardless
Senate
of where the
Bill
funding comes, yeah.
22 funding or not knowing.
Then that frees back up SB 22 money.
No, because we'll use it. If we get it, we use it. If we don't get it,
So we're just obligating ourselves one way or the other. And if we get SB 22 money, then it goes to that. If not, we're still obligated. I don't have a problem with that. Okay, I see what you're saying.
And if we don't
I'm
spend
trying
it
to
all
figure
for
out.
some reason, it just goes back to the state. It's not like we would find another use for, or well, I guess we could.
We will not do that.
Oh,
We will not do
Don't go
that.
there.
We worked it out in 45 days last year. We'll
But it can cover fringes as well. And so fringe is, roughly can go up to
Yeah.
25% depending on the retirement.
Incrementally
percentage.
based on, yeah,
Yes, so that's substantial as well, so.
it is.
Okay, okay, I see where you're coming from, I feel better. Yeah, okay.
So I think, are we good with the policy? I'm sorry, Judge, I forgot you.
No, I was,
There,
no, I was waiting until the discussion ended, but good discussion. So what's if anyone's good, or you all good part, let's put it on the table. A motion.
I
The
would make
court
a
is good
motion.
with counting, sorry. I just want to be sure I'm understanding, because the policy set forward, is the court wanting to go ahead and implement the plan, including this prior tenure that had not been budgeted, or are we doing that, or are we approving the policy without that intent?
with, from my understanding.
With, okay.
I mean,
If
that's a
it perfects
competitive, yeah, that,
If it perfects.
It's not gonna get us where we need to be, if we
Yeah.
don't.
so I'll make the motion to accept the policy, or to approve the policy as presented, with the addition of the tenure from an outside agency coming in, is that correct?
Prior to when it was advised under the
Yeah.
old policy.
Okay.
Second.
All right. Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. Thank you.
Did that cover both
Anna-
C and B?
Let me
That's
just
what I was
say,
gonna say. I think we need to do
I was looking at C as
implementations a
I
little.
was looking at C as a separate issue, quite honestly. Because why is it presented in two different, if it wouldn't to be considered separately?
There's an
C
answer.
and what?
MC2. or
M2C.
Yeah, so
M2B is the policy for ongoing administration. M2C is the rules for implementation. So that's actually assigning salaries.
Is this where the tenure comes in?
Yes, sir.
to play?
This is where the previous tenure that was not counted on September 30th of 2018, but was on October 1st of 2018 for the FY19 year. That's that whole,
So this,
system.
this is where it could be approved contingent on adding this prior, making it
Yeah.
clear that the prior tenure will count.
I think that is the
I think
good
that's
spot
what
to
you
put
intended.
that.
Was to
Yes,
include
so,
the-
yeah, I amended the original motion for that.
Yeah, the ongoing plan was always intended to count previous tenure of up to 4 years through the policy. It's just the previous policy didn't allow for that for people prior to 2019. So we would like to apply that evenly across the board and not just exclude people randomly based on arbitrary dates.
Agreed.
Motion to approve M2C, authorization of the FY25 Sheriff's Office Step Plan implementation rules to include past tenure
As presented, is that
as
right?
presented.
Is that framed right?
Satisfied? Does that do
Yes,
it?
that is what, yes.
Framed right? Then I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion second, disregard the first motion from Commissioner Perry. We have a second.
We've already voted.
Addition.
Yeah, this is,
In addition.
Okay, I apologize.
that's okay.
Have a motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Thank you.
Commissioners, if I could make just a comment to y'all. Thank y'all so much for helping us get through this process and go on this journey. Thank you to the HR department, our auditor's office. We're still going to be continuing to work through this for the rollout and implementation. This is a huge hurdle for our employees. So we can send out some official notifications to give them that official roadmap, that official understanding of what's going on. It means a lot to me personally and a ton to us departmentally. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, guys.
Judge?
Good work for
Hey,
a
Judge, a comment there. When I made the comment about putting to bed, I misspoke because I was referring to the Sheriff's Office plan. I realized that the employee policy guide is going to be discussed at our retreat. And,
Okay.
With that in mind, my comment would be, I'd like to see this removed from our bi-weekly agenda and placed on that and not use up all.
Well, I mean, we
all
got
The interest of ink and paper.
Yeah, we use a lot of ink and paper on something we keep deferring. So can we just take that off the agenda and add it to the discussion.
Are you talking about the
I'm talking M2A.
the performance plan?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we keep putting it in the agenda and not doing anything with it.
All right, we'll pull that with no action.
That would be great.
And we did previously take action to defer it though, so we may need to,
Just don't put it on the next agenda.
Yeah, don't, I mean, it can,
Don't print all this on the notes.
we'll wait and place it on the, following the retreat.
All right, we'll take proper actions next week.
All right, M3 is discussion and or action regarding the Commissioners Court retreat meeting. And so in the notes are some possible retreat items that either came from previous retreats or from court discussion. So we'll kind of refine this list and make it a little bit more manageable for the one-day retreat and have those back on. If there's any suggestions from any court members, please let our office know as well.
Yeah, please do that, and this is a lot for one-day retreat, and so we may have to take priority as most important and push some others to a later time, or put them in the, what we call the parking. All right?
All right, moving on to item M4 regarding the Heart of Texas radio tower. M4A is discussion and interaction regarding services quote with North Point Construction and Tower Services LLC for the tower removal. Ken?
Well, we've had this on here for a while. We had two different plans on how to take the tower down. There was one that we've called the laydown plan that was $65,000. We have the other that's to take the tower down a section at a time. That's $95,000. I contacted North Point that they had in their description that they would supply us with the mode of what it meant to lay a tower down. And so we have gotten that information. They gave us a look at the tower site. And that they're going to take all the materials away. They're actually going to cut the tower up, put it in roll-offs and take it to a recycler. And they even talked about taking the concrete to a recycler. But they also shared with us their safety and health documents for the safety of taking down the tower. I have talked to Sean about the laydown process, and after reading the documents, he's good. Sean is good with the laydown process for that. It's a system where they do take a guy wire and they take off tension and they pull tension, and so that it's a very controlled laydown type situation. I got kind of excited yesterday because I kind of heard some words that they wanted to start this process next week. Well, I have since found out that's not true. But what it does bring up is that we need to have a meeting with City Waco, with the county, with the different people involved, with North Point, to find out when would be a date. Because I'm understanding that City of Waco still has some stuff on our tower that they need to take off, and they have some stuff inside our shelter. And we do still have a generator in our that we want to move. And so we have different components. I'm just saying, I think that we need to come to a decision how we want to take the tower down. We do have the court order exempted from bidding in trying to coordinate at the same time City of Waco is having their stuff done. And I think it would be fine to approve those items, but also want to share, we're also going to need a demolition
permit?
Permit, yes. It's only, it's not.
Do North Point doesn't do that?
I haven't talked to him yet. I just gathered this information yesterday. So we still have work to be done here, but 215.
I would hate for us to get delayed any period of time because we're waiting on somebody to take equipment off. Is there not a process where we can do a lay down and take it off as each section is laid down? And
That was not my understanding, but we're really not, but we kind of are waiting for City of Waco to do that.
But we do want to coordinate with Waco because they're already coming for Waco.
Yes, that's
And that would
correct.
save us some mobilization cost.
That's it. And
I'm just saying, I don't want to let them go, well, we're not ready for 6 months to handle the equipment.
no, I don't think we're talking about, when I was talking to, I had a conversation with Ryan Durker. They do have the company in place that's going to do that. So it's a matter of just getting them out there.
Coordination.
With coordination. We still had forestry service stuff on our tower and inside our shelter. And John?
Well, I think we ought to set a certain date, and if it's not off there, then.
Well, that's what we did with the forestry service. We told them, and they're supposed to be there this week to take their stuff.
Okay.
But
Can we go ahead and approve one of these two methods and the, order granting exemption from competitive bidding?
that's what I was hoping to do today, and we'll work out. We have a quote here to move the generator from Tim Harrington. That is an additional.
That's not on the agenda though, so we can't.
No, I'm just saying that there's some other costs associated with it.
Let's get her all together and get her done.
Well, like I said, I think that if we want to make a decision on how we want to take the tower down, and if we approve the exemption from bidding, I think that we could do that today, and it's not going to, we have stuff in place to get this going.
And what do you recommend?
That's what I was going to ask.
Well, I've read through the stuff on laying the tower down. I think that we can do that safely, especially with coordination.
There seems to be ample space there within that area that they've measured to lay the tower down. And if you read how they do it, it's pretty interesting.
And, they want to have a meeting with the City of Waco Police, the City of Waco Fire Department. And so, again, just coordinating the entire thing.
I want to know, I want to be there to watch it. I just don't want to be within 420 feet. But I would like, I want to see it happen.
And I had a conversation with Ryan Durker yesterday where he's going to work with us to try to coordinate all these agencies for this to happen.
I would hate for us to end up having to pay more though, because we don't sync up with Waco when they're coming for Waco. I'd love for us to have it all in place so that when they come, they can take care of Waco and us, and there just be one mobilization charge.
Yes, sir.
But you're.
Well, and
so
Ryan
you recommend the label.
Durker will be able to get with Ryan Holt to coordinate with Waco PD and Waco Fire. And we want to ask also Ryan Holt to help us get the permit processing done as expediently as we can.
So what I think we're just, you're recommending the lay down method for 65,000, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Judge, is that any, I'm just kind of cutting to the chase here so we could.
No. So is that a motion? Do you?
I make a motion that we accept the bid at 65,000 for the decommissioning and taking down of the tower, knowing that there will be additional timelines that Ken will work out as we go through this process.
Second.
I'll second that. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
And we do need to specifically act on M4B, the approval of order granting exemption from competitive bidding to North Point Construction and Tower Services.
Okay.
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second.
Right, motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
M5 is authorization of fixed asset transfer form for asset transfer of vehicles from county sheriff to criminal district attorney's office. I know this was deferred last time, so some questions could get answered. I believe it may be ready to move forward.
Commissioner Perry, did you get your questions answered on this one?
Absolutely. The question was on what had been seized and had not been seized. But the vehicles that are presented today are clear and ready to go.
And SO and DA are both good with these, right?
Yes, the issues have been cleaned up. There is certainly seizure stuff in here, but there's a mechanism by which we can account for it, and we're not gonna run into any issues with Chapter 59 or Federal Equitable Sharing Fund.
These are all unmarked.
I don't know if Sean's on. I believe they are. I believe every one of them's unmarked.
And then I don't believe, I did ask the question about the maintenance records, and there was nothing that seemed to alarm, that was out of the ordinary for a vehicle that old, I guess is the best way to put it.
Okay. Yes, sir. And micrograms on, Michael, are those all unmarked vehicles? I believe they were, weren't they?
Correct, they're all unmarked vehicles.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
No, sir.
All right, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve M5.
Second?
Have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passed.
We'll drop down to item M8, authorization to light the courthouse green for Veterans Day. This is just seeking approval to light the courthouse green from November the 4th to November the 11th in observation of Veterans Day.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
M10, authorization of refund request for overpayment of real estate taxes. This tax office has submitted this request for RTC construction, totaling $7,962.69 for overpayment of taxes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
All right, and I believe that should be all the action items for today.
All right, Mercedes, is that what you say?
Yes, Judge. That takes care of everything.
Okay, thank you. All right. Anything else to come before the court today? All right, 11:47, we stand adjourned. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Recording stopped.